Okay, guys, we did this one in class. If I do this one again, where 2 equals 1/2 7x plus 2. If I actually just do the 1/2 times this whole thing, we have to use distribution, where we say this one times the first thing and then this one times the second thing, which we can do. Equals 2 equals 1/2 times the first one of 7x, and then plus 1/2 times the second one, which is 2, which is 2 equals, and remember there's imaginary ones beneath those when we do multiplication. 1 times 7x is just 7x divided by 2, plus, and this one equals 2 divided by 2. 1 times 2 is 2, 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1. If I were to say what kind of terms those are, that's a number term, that's a constant term. This is a x term, so I got to move this one over to get the x term by itself, but when it switches teams, it makes us a -1. 2 minus 1 is 1. 7x over 2. If I want to get rid of the fraction, I have to go to multiply by 2 sevens, multiply by the reciprocal. And that gets rid of the fraction. We've got x left at the end equals 2 times 1 on the top is 2, 7 times 1 on the bottom is 7ths. X equals 2 sevenths. So that's the slow way. If we did it the fast way, we can think of maybe we can make it 3 different things to multiply by. So we could say, I'll do it by blue over here. 2 equals 1/2 times the quantity 7x plus 2. And then what if we just multiplied by a third thing? And we could make that third thing we multiply by just the number 2. And if we multiply that side by 2, we have to multiply this side by 2. And the reason why that's so cool is on the right side, on the left side over here, 2 times 2 is just 4. But on the right side, we have 3 different things we're multiplying by. The blue 1/2 is one of the things. The red 7x plus 2 is one thing we're multiplying by. And the green 2. But we can multiply those by any order. So let's, instead of going left to right, we can always multiply the 1/2 times the 2 first. And those basically cancel each other out because 2 is 2 divided by 1. So they kind of cancel each other out. The 2 cancels out the 2 on the bottom. The 1 cancels out the 1. And the reason why we chose those is they just multiplied together to make 1. They're reciprocals of each other. So then all that's left is the middle term, 7x plus 2. So basically by multiplying by 2, we got rid of that 1/2. So the left side has to get bigger too. And then we have 4 equals 7x plus 2. 4 is a constant term, so is plus 2. 7x is a variable term. We got to move this term over to this side. When it switched teams, it becomes -2. They're both on the blue team. Now we get plus 4 minus 2 is 2 equals 7x. The last step is I would just have to divide by 7. And that gets rid of the 7s, and there's the answer. X equals 2 sevenths. Both have the same answer. This way works with a lot less fractions. All right, next problem. All right, next problem. Let's do it the fast way again. So I have 15 equals 1/2 times 7x minus 6. And I'm also going to multiply, both sides by 2 again. And the reason I'm going to do that is because this 2, when multiplied by 1/2, cancel each other out and just make 1. So they're reciprocals of each other. So they got rid of the fraction. And all that's left is this 7x minus 6. So we've got 2 times 15 is 30 equals 7x minus 6. So we were able to ditch the fractions before we used them. The 30 and the negative 6 are on the same team. The 7x is a variable team, so I got to move the negative 6 over to the 30 side, so it'll look something like this, but when it goes to this side, it becomes a positive 6. 7x equals 36. Divide by 7, that's the last thing to do, and that gets rid of the 7s. X equals 36 divided by 7, or 36 sevenths. Next problem. Seven equals 1/2 x plus 2. I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. Because the 2 and the 1/2 battle it out and get rid of each other. 2 times 1/2 is just 1. There's the 2 and the 2 cancel out, and we've got 14 equals x plus 2. I've got this 14. I've got this plus 2. I've got this x. This will change teams and become negative 2. And we've got 12 equals x. And we're done. X equals 12. Next one. This one's interesting. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go 1 equals 2/3 times 10x minus 15. All right, I'm going to multiply by 3. You might say, why don't I multiply by the reciprocal 3/2? You can, and that would get rid of this and this and this and this. And then you multiply it by 3/2, but then I end up getting a fraction over there. So what I'm actually going to do is just multiply by 3, and I'll show you why. I'm going to multiply both sides by 3 as my third term. And this 3 is like 3 over 1. So the 3 cancel on the top here cancels out the 3 on the bottom here. And I'm still left with the 2. The 2 survived. We still have a 2. So over here I've got 3 times 1 is 3 equals the 2 survived. And then 10x minus 15. So we got rid of the fraction, but the 2 on top survived. From here I do have to distribute. So now I have 3 equals, I have parentheses, so I got to do the outside times the first one, and then the outside times the second one. So 2 times 10x is 20x. 2 times 10x is 20x. And then 2 times negative 15, because remember this whole term is negative 15. 2 times negative 15 is negative 30. All right, so now I've got teams. I've got number team. We'll go X team. We got to get this guy over to this side, but he switches teams when he switches sides, plus 30. Positive 3 plus 30 is 33 equals 20x. I'm going to divide by 20 to get rid of it. And I'm done. So I'm left with just x equals 33 over 20. So in this one, the big key was I multiply by this number on the bottom. By putting a big 3 over here, this 3 over 1, the top 3 will cancel the bottom 3. And the only thing that survives is the 2. So that's a new technique. Next problem. Basically like the last one. I see a fraction. I'm really going to pay attention to that number right there. I really want to get rid of the denominator because that means divided by 7. So I'm going to multiply by 7 on the back side of this one. and 7 over here on this side. This is like a 7 over 1, sort of. And the top 7 is going to cancel with the bottom 7. And the 3 survives. So now we have 28. 7 times 4 is 28 equals 3. That 3 survives. Times 3x plus 14. And that's 7 and the 1 canceled out. All right, now I'm going to distribute. I got to go 28 equals the outside times the first one. 3 times 3x is 9x. Now I do the outside times the second one. 3 times plus 14 is plus 42. All right, now I got to do number team, X team, move this guy over, negative 42. All right, 9x equals 28 minus 42. This is plus 28 and minus 42. So they're on opposite teams, so I can subtract them. The difference is 14, and the negative team wins. I got to divide by 9 now to get rid of, my last step is to get rid of the coefficient, and I'm done. I've got x by itself. X equals negative 14 divided by 9, 14 ninths. All right, next problem. All right, let's see. Oh, let's get rid of that. All right, here we go. I'm going to do the same thing as I did before. I'm going to multiply both sides. I'm going to multiply both sides by 4 here. Because before I start doing this, this 4 is like 4 over 1. It'll cancel the bottom 4 over here. And I've got 24 equals, the 3 survives, 3 times 10x plus 16. So we multiplied by 4 to get rid of this divided by 4, basically. Now I'm going to distribute. 24 equals 3 times 10x is 30x. 3 times positive 16 is 48. Now I'm going to do my teams. I've got a number team, and an X team. I got to move this guy over to get the X team by itself. And now it's minus 48. Plus 24, minus 48. They're on different teams, so you can subtract them. 48 minus 24 is 24, and the negative team wins, so it's negative 24 equals 30x. Last step is to divide by 30. Divide by 30. And we're done, except for you can simplify negative 24 over 30, and 6 goes into both of them. 6 goes into 24 4 times, and 6 goes into 35 times. So the answer is negative 4/5. Or since they're both even, you can just keep cutting them in half. All right, next problem. I'm just going to get rid of this for right now. All right, next problem. 6 equals 1/2 times the quantity 9x minus 4. I know I'm going to multiply by 2, both sides by 2 to really fight against that 1/2. So I'm going to multiply this side by 2. I'm going to multiply this side by 2, which is 2 over 1. So this 2 will cancel out this 2. 2 on the top cancels out 2 on the bottom. The 1 and the 1 cancel each other out, so those are gone. We've got 6 times 2 is 12 equals, well, everything's gone but the 9x minus 4. So I've got a green term, I've got a green term, I've got an x term. Pretty obvious which one needs to go to get the x's by itself. I'm trying to get the blue term by itself, so this one's got to go. When it goes to the other side, it switches and becomes a positive. So I've got 9x equals 16. Last step, to get rid of this 9, I got to divide by 9. X equals 16/9. Three more problems. Okay, 9 equals 2/3 x, the quantity x plus 12. I'm going to multiply by 3, which is basically 3 over 1. I'm going to multiply this side by 3 as well. The reason what? A 3 on top can cancel the 3 on bottom if they're all multiplying by each other. So 9 times 3 is 27. The 2 survived, and we've got 2 times x plus 12. We got to distribute. 27 equals 2 times x is 2x. Now 2 times positive 12 is positive 24. We've got a number term, and a variable term. If we want to solve for that green one, we got to get this yellow team to switch sides. It becomes a negative 24 when it switches teams. And we've got 2x equals 3. Divide by 2 is the last step. And x equals 3/2. Last two. I see this 1/2. 3 equals the quantity 1/2 times the quantity 9x minus 2. Instead of distributing now, let's make it simple and multiply by 2 to fight against that 1/2, because we can multiply in any order. So we'll multiply these two together, and 2 times 1/2 is just 1, or else the 2 on the top cancels the 2 on the bottom, and vice versa. So they fight against each other. They battle it out. 6 equals 9x minus 2. I've got a number term, a variable term. This has got to go over here and become a plus 2 when it switches teams. We get 8 equals 9x. Divide by 9 is the last step to get the x all by itself. The 9s cancel each other out, and we've got x equals 8/9. Last one. The number that's going to fight against the 1/3 is 3. So I'm going to multiply this side by 3. I'm going to multiply this side by 3. The 3 is like 3 over 1. It's going to cancel out with the 3. The 1's going to get rid of it. Those two battled it out to a draw. 4 times 3 is 12. And the only thing left over here is the quantity 7x minus 3, that middle term. Let's do our terms. We got a constant term, and a number term, and a variable term. To get the variable term by itself, this guy needs to switch teams. When he switches teams, he becomes, he becomes a positive. 7x equals 15. Last step, just get rid of the 7. We want x by itself. Divide by 7, divide by 7. X equals 15 sevenths. All right, those are all the answers. If you followed along and you have all of them, there they go. Good job. That's a lot. Turn it in. Here, just follow it along, turn it in, get your points, and we'll do easier problems tomorrow. But I just wanted you to see where we're going. Okay. Nice job. See you tomorrow.